I don't remember how to do this. Hey everyone, welcome back to the next chapter. My name is Christopher Navo, and I'm going to be your host. If this is your first time joining, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. The most rewarding part of doing this is my interaction with you guys, so those comments mean everything to me. Let me know what you think of the content or what you're reading, anything you want to share about this wonderful passion we share with reading, fantasy, sci-fi, manga, horror, anything you want to share. Anyway, let's get started. It's been a while, and I apologize to you guys about that. I needed a break. I'm not going to dive too much into this right now. I have a kind of a special, more of a special upcoming video, sort of my check-in video coming up here for my next video along the way. This one is just kind of like getting me back into the swing of things, and I thought it'd be fun to maybe do like my first quarter book haul. This will also include books that I got during the holidays, so a little bit into 2023. But I thought it'd be just a fun start to getting back into the swing of things and making videos again, because, you know, I missed it. I really did. And as much as I needed the break and I enjoyed the break, I felt like I needed a return. This is something that I really still very much so enjoy doing. I enjoy intermingling with the community, and I miss many aspects to doing this. So without any further ado, guys, let's just dive into the book haul I have for first quarter 2024. So this first section is majority of gifts that I got during the holiday season. And the first one not even being a book, but it is book related. And that is a book lover's candle that I received from Brian Bell over at BookTube. He created a video and included about a dozen booktubers who he gifted a candle to. Mine was Rainy Day Reads, which smells of fresh rain, ginger, and lavender. He put together a hilarious video called Holiday Disco Special. I'll have it linked with his channel below. Please check him out. I'm sure if you are subbed to me, you are probably subbed to Brian. He is new. He started late in 2023, I believe in November, and he just really took off, and it's well deserved because he's just this positive force of energy in the community. I just gravitate to people like that personally, and I got to know Brian prior to when he started his channel too, through several readathons, and he's just a wonderful guy, so definitely check him out. And Brian, thank you for the candle. Even though we are no longer entering our rainy season here in Seattle. Next up, I got we did a Secret Santa. This is about half a dozen booktubers got together and we decided to do a Secret Santa. And the person who drew my name was Dan from Black and Blue Collar Reader. And so he sent me not one, but two books, which was really kind of him. The first one being A Song for the Void by Andrew Piazza. This is sort of a eldritch horror, historical fiction kind of read. Of course, some fantasy element to it. Sounds right in my wheelhouse. I don't remember where I initially saw this book where it piqued my interest. I want to say it was Leslie from the Nerdy Narrative, because this seems like it's something she'd like, and usually I'm very prone to liking the same books that she reads, which makes it hard for me to watch her channel sometimes. But I want to say it was from her, but if not, thank you to whoever on the community recommended this book. I added it, of course, to my Amazon wish list, and Dan, again, from the Black and Blue Collar Reader, sent it over to me. Yeah, definitely something fun and interesting to pick up. The other book he got me was The Exile by Ryan Cahill. This is one of Ryan's, I think he's written several novellas that intermingle with his main series, The Bound and the Broken. So it is part of the series. I don't think it's not a standalone or anything. I'm pretty excited to get to this because I am actually going to start Ryan Cahill sometime in May. I will have more details about that read coming up here in the next few weeks. I confirmed I will be part of a buddy read with this with some other booktubers. So I am finally going to get into Ryan Cahill's books. I hear wonderful things about it, so pretty cool. This next one was a gift from me from my good friend and fellow booktuber, Tori from Tori Talks. She sent me The Bloody Chorus by John Marco. This is the same John Marco who wrote, what was that? Tyrants and Kings trilogy way back. I feel like it was like in the 90s, and it was published through Spectrum. And I think John went the self-pub route with this book, The Bloody Chorus. So I'm excited for this book. I want to read. I liked John Marco's original trilogy that I read back in the day, and I want to read more from him. And it was nice to see that. I mean, I guess I didn't register at first with me that it was the same John Marco. So again, thank you, Tori, for sending me this wonderful gift. So maybe we can read it together if we ever get a plan in motion on reading a book together. These next two are mystery gifts. They were sent to me by unknowns. I have no idea who sent them. They came with a gift thing that said enjoy kind of thing. Two separate books. The first one is A Low Country by Morgan Shank. This is sort of like from my understanding, this is sort of like a Western fantasy by this author. I asked Morgan himself, I said, did you send this to me? And he goes, no, I didn't send that to you. So, yeah, it was on my wish list as well. So I don't know. I still don't know to this day who sent this to me. This has been 3 months now, but it came as a gift, and I appreciate it. Morgan is just putting out another book called the Rune Trilogy. This is going to be released on May 30th. I might actually read that one first because I have a EPUB arc of it, so I might read that one before I dig into A Low Country, because it's a separate series, and his new one is a new series, so I will probably check that out first. The other mystery gift I got, but I have a suspicion on this one, is Thrill Switch by Tim Hawkin. This is a very cyberpunk murder mystery set in future Las Vegas, and that's all I know of it so far. I've seen it mentioned by a couple of my fellow booktuber friends on here. Cyberpunk is one of my personal favorite subgenres of science fiction. I want to read more of it, and you're going to see that in future books I have here in my book haul. I know a couple of people have read this, so I have suspicions it might be one of them, but nobody's confirmed that they sent this to me either. So again, thank you to all my mystery people who are sending me these books. And I appreciate it. I kind of want to know who you are, though, so I could give you a shout out. But, oh well. All right, this next pile, this all came from my spouse. I was all about books, again, for Christmas gift because I'm that much of a geek and nerd. And if it's not books, it's video games or Lego. So, yeah, that's my Christmas list. You won't see anything like for a almost 50-year-old man on my Christmas list. But first gift, and this is really means a lot to me, is this beautiful edition of Shogun. Obviously, I wanted to prep myself for the TV show. Naive me thinking that, oh yeah, I'll have this read before the show starts. No, I will not have this read before the show starts. I'm still reading this book, by the way, guys. I I'm enjoying it, but it is definitely. I'm not too sure. This is part of a saga, and I'm not too sure how far I'm going to read into this saga. I am definitely going to take a break after I read Shogun. I don't think I'm going to go dive right into. I believe Taipan is the next one. Definitely won't be reading that anytime soon. I want to read some other stuff. The next one I got is as me love of historical fiction and actually just history in general. This is a history book called Emperor of Rome. This is by Mary Beard. This is kind of what Mary does in this book is just like the general life of a Roman emperor and the actual power they might have had during the time. I thought it was sounded very interesting. I always like different aspects of classic history. It's what I studied in college the first time I went. I majored in archaeology with a minor in ancient to classical history. So I still love reading books like this. Big geek and nerd when it comes to history, especially during that time period. So another book I'm pretty excited to get into. And then my spouse sent me two of the same book, but it's only because the one book didn't come in the best condition that they were hoping that it would. And that is Diasporic. Am I pronouncing that right? You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. By Greg Egan, a very classic, more of a hard sci-fi author from my understanding. So it's not something I normally gravitate to, but the ideas in it sounded really interesting to me. All about, I think with this one, it's all about aspects of recreation of life and all that. I was surprised they found a hardback. It is a used book. It does have library stamps on it as well as the nasty, ugly side sticker on it. But they were kind enough to also send me the paperback version. So I have this for a nice, easy to handle book. Maybe if I can really be gentle with the stickers, I can probably pull those off. I'm usually pretty good with stickers, but sometimes they're like really just cemented on there, so we'll see. And to stick with the sci-fi theme, I just want to jump in here real quick to say that I did not read a lot of sci-fi in 2023, and I wanted to change that a little up into 2024. So that is why I asked for so many sci-fi books, and particularly, again, cyberpunk books. So the next book I got was Altered Carbon, and this is one of the few times where it was one of those where I saw the TV show on Netflix before I read the book. I loved the Netflix series of Altered Carbon. It was just eye candy all around, neon lights and augmentations and things that having your conscious stored and then downloaded into a new body. Just weird concepts like that just interest me so much. And so I wanted to read the book. So I hope to get to the book at some time in the near future on that as well. And then the final gift I got is Neuromancer by William Gibson. Yeah, another cyberpunk book. And this is probably, William is probably one of the first voices of the cyberpunk subgenre. So a book I wanted to get into. I heard it is fantastic. It really sets everything off. I heard it could be kind of a tough read as well, but I'm open to trying new things and kind of getting out of that comfort zone. So yep, that is all the gifts I got. Again, thank you to each and every one of you who has sent me a gift. This next group of books were gifts sent to me by authors for review. I this is only counting the physical books. I hope I'm not missing any. I think I am. I know I also have a handful of EPUB books, but I'm not going to cover those here. This is just more of a book haul, but I will cover each and every book in a future video. So I definitely want to make sure I give each of these books their time to shine, because they are all indie pub books. So to start off with here, I got The Fall of the Giants. This is by Gregory Contaxis. This is book 2 of the Dance of Light series. I read The Return of the Knights last year. I really enjoyed he had a great solid start to this series. So when he reached out asking me to if I wanted to read book 2, I was like, oh heck yes. And that cover is just crazy. Look at that dragon. So excited to get to this at some point and share my thoughts with you on that. This next author is going to be a first timer for me. This is going to be Z.S. Diamante. Zach, I apologize if I'm butchering your name. This is the Stone and Sky series, and the first book is called Stone and Sky, which he sent to me along with this Preludes collection. Both of these are just have gorgeous covers on them, and they have griffins in it apparently, so you're gonna have me sold on that. It looks like a fun series, so looking forward to getting into this one. Next up here I have Jonathan Weiss. He sent me his first 2 books in the Flux Catastrophe series, first one being Molten Flux, and then book 2 is Blazing Flux. I believe he just published book 3, and he also, I think, has a prequel out as well. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Notice how I make you guys like comment if I do something wrong even. This one I'm actually reading right now, so this will probably be covered in my next weekly wrap-up video, probably next week. How Jonathan sold this to me was he called his series in the letter he wrote to me was Desert Punk, and I was like, oh yeah, you got me sold. And yeah, I mean, sure enough, this is the environment in this book is very unique, and I mean, I'll share my thoughts, of course, as when I finish it, but definitely got Mad Max vibes from this, and it's just been a lot of fun. Next up here, I have a book by one of these authors that came out with books in the start of 2024, and they all call themselves the Break-Ins, and she is part of that, and that is Louise Holland. And her first book is called The Spark of Divine. And I don't know too much about this book, so that's going to be kind of fun to go into something kind of blind, but I am excited for this group of authors called the Break-Ins. I'd be curious on how many will show up in the upcoming SPIFBO 10 or SPIF Box, as it's going to be called, reading competition for indie authors. And I'll be curious if I see a lot of those break-ins in here too. So she is included, and I can't wait to get to this. Next up, speaking of SPIFBO, I got still catching up on my finalists, and one of those finalists is K.E. Andrews, and this is The Hills of Heather and Bone. Yeah, she is one of the top 10 finalists to 300 book entry contest of SPIFBO 9. I will probably not have this read before the winner is announced, but quite honestly, I'm behind on all the finalists, including other books in the contest that I want to read, regardless if they were finalists or not. And Katie sent this beautiful book to me. Not only is the cover pretty, but God, what is wrong with me? I can't even take the cover off. I mean, the naked hardcover is just as pretty cool as the actual cover art. There's some illustrations inside as well. Beautiful. I love these like the brown maps. I always think those are really cool. Colorful illustrations. I mean, there's a lot of care into this book. Not saying that other books aren't like that, but I always see more care in indie books, I feel like. Next up here is something a little different that's going to be a little different of a read for me, and that is Drowning Earth. This is by Sean Wilson. This is set in the near future of Earth. I want to say 2055, so not too far away. Centered around a crew on this like cool looking submarine that almost looks organic in a way. I don't know if you can see it very well from the camera. It has almost like a scales on it too. If the illustration and any indication of what it's like in the book, that'd be really kind of cool to see. So definitely a book that will like probably cleanse my palate a little bit from some of the more traditional fantasy and sci-fi I've been reading. And then finally, this book, I will have, I'm not going to go into too much right now on it. I will be featuring it in my next Indie Spotlight, which will be included in my wrap-up video. But this is by S.A. Ernster, and this is Dyrock 88. This is her first book in the Cosmonauty series. A really cool cover. It's a nice naked hardcover book that she sent me, so I'm pretty excited to get into this, and I'll share more details of what this book is about in my Indie Spotlight in my next video, I promise. All right, and this last group of books are just books I purchased for myself. I'm trying to go easy on the amount of book purchases I make. I mean, I have plenty to read. I have ARCs, I have gifts, I have I didn't read everything on my shelf, guys, so I'm trying to cut back. But there are books I'm subscribed, a part of a subscription to, or, you know, books that, you know, I just needed to have, you know. And so to start off with here, I picked up the first two books of Philip Quintrell's Echo Saga from The Broken Binding. This is Rise of the Ranger and The Empire of Dirt. So I picked up the first ones of these two to give them a go. Gorgeous covers, by the way, on these, Philip. And I've been itching for long series again, and Philip's Echo series is like 9 books long. So I figured, hey, there's a good way to get really into a longer series, and really excited. This next author I've been wanting to read for a very long time. He was right up there with Guy Gavriel Kay for a while, where I was a little intimidated, but at the same time, it's just somebody I want to get to at some time. And that is Chion Mieville, and this is Perdido Street Station. I heard this is a good starting book with this particular author. I got this book also from the Broken Binding, a very, very beautiful addition to that book. I love that spot. I love that spray painted edge. If you've read this book, let me know. It sounds like it's like a sort of like a dystopian steampunk kind of read. I would love to read this with somebody. This seems like a book that I wouldn't maybe want to read by myself. So if you are interested in reading this, you don't even have to be a fellow booktuber. If you just want to read this together, we can share comments on Discord or something. I'd be more than happy to, and maybe I can work this in. So again, this is Perdido Street Station by Chion Mieville. Can't wait. And then back to my love for historical fiction. In this case, I picked up the first 2 books of the Dan Jones Essex Dogs series, which are the only 2 available right now. The first book being the self-titled Essex Dogs, and then the second book, here's where people are going to make fun of me, Wolves of Winter, not Winds of Winter, by George R. R. Martin. This is Wolves of Winter. So the first 2 books of these are out. Again, beautiful spray paint work on these as well that Broken Binding editions are known for. And I want to get into that series here relatively soon. I imagine the third one will be coming out this year as well. So other books I have purchased, I picked up What Feasts at Night. This is by T. Kingfisher. This is sort of like a follow-up to What Moves the Dead by the same author, and which is a retelling of the fall of the House of Usher. Really enjoyed What Moves the Dead, so I picked up this. It seems like a very quick, easy read, so I'll be wanting to get to this, and I can probably read this in between some other reads here I have going on. This next book I have already read for the year. This is Sister Samurai by Tatiana Obe, and oh wow, I'll just say really quick, I'll cover this in my wrap up, but what an enjoyable reading experience this was. Such a profound of a read, you know, dealing with self-doubt and depression and all that. So it came at a right time, and I think that's why it left such an impact on me. But I'll share more of my feelings on this book in my wrap-up. But this is Sister Samurai by Tatiana Obe. I recommend this book. I'll just say that now. Then I have another book that I've been wanting to get to for a very long time, and that is Marlon James's Black Leopard, Red Wolf. I heard some great things about this particular author. From my understanding, he uses a lot of African history and mythology, and the only thing I can kind of think that might be similar to that might be Evan Winter's The Burning series, which is also a fantasy that kind of has a lot of African-inspired elements to it. So I liked that. I liked Evan Wolf, so I want to give, or excuse me, Evan Winter. So I want to give Marlon James a chance here as well. So I'm looking forward to this book, and I think there's a sequel out on that one now as well too. And then finally, this one book is. Sorry, not finally, but this next book is kind of breaking out of my comfort zone a little bit, guys. I tend to be more of a darker, moodier fantasy, sci-fi reader. I like dystopian worlds and all that, but I'm gonna break into, I'm gonna give myself a little go on romantasy. And no, I'm not reading Sarah J. Maas, but this one is called The Emperor and the Endless Palace. This is by Justinian Hung, and he is, I think, a new debut author, and he wrote this story about two lovers and their love that expands all across different time periods. First time being 4 BCE, next time in 1700s, and then present day. And I think that's just cool sounding. So we're going to give this one a go. It's not very long, and I'm pretty excited to try my hand at a little bit of romantasy. We'll see how well I receive it. And then finally, the last thing I got this for during the quarter is I picked up Janie Wartz's Cycle of Fire trilogy. I've been wanting, she's been on my list for, I want to say decades, honestly. I don't know why I've never read her. It just boggles my mind that I've never read a Wartz book for how many people from the 90s authors I've read. I'm not too sure if I'm necessarily going to start with this book. I know there's a couple standalones people recommend starting with, or some people are even going right into the hardcore War of Light and Shadow. I said I wanted to read a long series, and maybe I should start with that. And she's just wrapping up her last book to that series this year, so it will be a completed series. But we'll see where it goes. So, but for now, I did pick up the trilogy. It was a little hard to find, but I'm glad I did find it. It includes this 3 books to the series: Storm Warden, Keeper of the Keys, and then Shadow Fame. So it's all in one volume, very cool. And maybe this will be my introduction to Wartz. I think this is one of her earlier works too, so we'll see. Well, that's it for me on this video, guys. Thank you so much for your patience on my return back to BookTube. I look forward to getting back to weekly wrap-ups and decent schedule here in the next few weeks. Otherwise, my name is Christopher Navo. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I hope to see you in the next chapter. Take care. Thank you so much for Mr. Brian Bell over at BellTube. And this is a Rainy Day Reads candle. Why can't I talk? I'm off to a good start, guys. I'm going to keep this in. This isn't even going to go in bloopers. But this is China Mieville's Pedido Street Station. First one is A Song for the Void. This is by who is this by? Andrew Piazza. I can't read my own cards.